Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another Chartner TA update. I am diving into Bitcoin today. If you've been following the market for the past couple of days, yesterday in particular, you can see the Bitcoin had a what was the candle yesterday? 11% candle down to the downside, and we're currently sitting at a price of 32k, roughly 31.8k. Okay, and we did come down to 29k. So you can see basically what Bitcoin has done here on the daily has retested this previous summer lows here in 2021. Okay, so from that, I do think this is an area of support. So, that's why you're getting your bounce currently, and Bitcoin is actually up right now speaking. So 6.8%. Okay. Because this is a foundational level of support here around this area. There's been a wick down to 28k. So potentially we could come down to that and fill that in too. I am expecting more downside here for Bitcoin. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am expecting more downside. And the only reason being, is because potentially what happened here for Bitcoin is we was in some sort of rising wedge here on a daily. This is a level of resistance and support. You coil up in price, rising up. Wherever you lose that support, you're retracing back to this low. Okay, and we have lost that 32k low and actually closed below it. Okay, so our next foundational level of support is this trend line I've just shown you now, and it's the previous summer lows in 2021. Okay, so if we start to lose this 28k right here, okay, you can see that Bitcoin potentially where it's trying to get to. I think if we go from this basically this high here, guys, okay, this 48k high was a retracement to this high. And what happened is we retraced and we ran into the 050. Okay, so that indicates that we created a lower high, and this was sort of like a dead cat bounce. This is bear market structure. Okay, what we wanted to see was Bitcoin form a low, come up, hold support, and continue on, but it didn't. Okay, it's now flipped down to the downside. So we are in bearish structure, and the bears, the trend is your friend until the end, and this is currently now our trend. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Okay, so from this 050 retracement, okay, we've created that dead cat bounce, and then we've started retracing. Okay, and wherever we retraced to, okay, we had lows here we needed to hold a support. We didn't. We lost those, as I've just said. Okay, and now we are currently sitting on the 1272 of this 48k high, retracing back to this 32k. So we've bounced off 20, bang on the nose. You can see here we've bounced off the 1272, okay, at 29.755k. Right here we had a bounce, right, and that tied up with these lows that we had in summer last year, around those lows, not bang on. Okay, we had multiple wicks in these areas. So this is tying up quite nicely, and I'm following this right now. So if we fail to get back above, we have to get back above these previous supports. Okay, we have to get back above 32.9k, and we equally have to get back above 34.3k. Okay, and closing above these 0.050 and 0.618 fibs. So it's a long road ahead now, really and truly, because you've had this level of support that we was holding. We ran up to a level of resistance, lost this support. So respectfully, this is a reversal wave. Okay, it's a reversal wave, and we're coming down. So things aren't looking too bright, in my honest opinion. If we start to come up now, say we break the zero and we come up and hold that, I think we might potentially run into the 786. As I said though, the zero at 32.9k is strong resistance now. If we do get rejected here, in fact, start to roll and lose this, my potential targets are coming down here to the 1618 at a minimum, and that sits at 26k. Okay, that sits at 26k, and after that, so at 26k, you can see here there's a little cluster of support back in December 2020. The next level of support, if that 26k is lost, is this cluster of support here, which ties up with the 2 fib, which is 22.5k. And there and therefore, if you come back down here, which is previous bull time, this is the 2018 bull market top around these sort of levels at 19k, which is the 2.414 fib. Okay, so that's not to say that these aren't on the cards either, but these lower fib levels are the retracements. Somewhere down here, I potentially think the low is going to be in for Bitcoin. And yeah, that's my honest viewpoint on the current market situation and state. But potentially what you can see here, I think what might happen is Bitcoin could you know, if it did start to rally up, it could potentially run into this resistance up here, okay, of this of the previous what's this called? The rising wedge, sorry, yeah, the previous rising wedge, because you've lost the support of the rising wedge here, which it was holding. Support. We needed to hold support. We've lost it. If we start to move impulsively and come up, you can see we could potentially run into the previous support line, turn it to resistance, and equally, it could potentially be the 200 SMA on the daily time frame. And that is a point at where, you know, in bear markets you start to roll down and get rejected, and then you enter your capitulation to the downside, okay. So that is a big play. Bitcoin could bounce off strong support here, very strong support, because this is foundational support for the past year, and you know, the first quarter of this year, so a year and 4 or 5 months. And yeah, guys, that's basically my viewpoint on the markets right now. So equally as well, if we get a fib on from this low we're currently at now at 31, where did we come on? 29k. Okay, so we're retracing potentially back up to this 48k. You can see that above us, these are the levels of resistance that I'm watching for. And you know, if this starts to come down, the 050 and the 0618 potentially are going to act as key resistance above, you know, if you start to creep up here, and that would be turning this support line again, as I said, into resistance of the previous rising wedge, and you'll be retracing back down to this low. And if that's lost, as I said, you've got targets below that I'm looking for. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's a quick update for Bitcoin. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, peace out.